Good morning, chaps. How are you all? Love to you all. First off, to all my Englanders, Happy St. George's Day! Woo! Woo! Yes, it is St. George's Day here in England, so enjoy, my loves, enjoy. I will. I'm going to be at the farm shop in a moment, but for now, we're catching up. Good morning. Hello. Leslie, who comes into the shop. Hello, Leslie. Lovely Leslie. She, where's your accent, dear? I've never asked you. I completely forget to ask you every time you come in. Where are you from? Where's the accent? Because I can't quite pin it down. So yes. So put a shout out in the comments. Actually, everyone, shout out from where you're from. Hey, merry old England. Yeah. Last week, I just cracked my beautiful fine bone china, one of my favourite mugs. It was quite a chilly start to the day, and so obviously the mug was cold, and then I put steaming, scalding hot water into it. Brilliant, genius idea, Rebecca. So yeah, so it went crack. I'll put it in the thumbnail probably. So she's a crafter. She makes all manner of things. She does sort of everything. And look what she's made me! I was so excited. Oh, and not only that, look what she's put on the back. She's very kind. Thank you so much. Thank you. I love it. 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 Chickens. Oh, I love it. Save kitchen scraps to feed the hens. Keep it dry, free from glass, metal, bones, paper, etc. It also feeds pigs your council will collect. So, yeah, love it. In other news, last week's edit is still ongoing. You know, I will get it to you, dears. It's the one with Easter in. So, I mean, you might get it by Christmas. Who knows? You know, we'll get there in the end. You will get it. You will get it. You know, I may be AWOL, but I will always come back to you. I will always get to you eventually. So that's in the edit. Bunting. There's a certain Charlie boy in the kingdom who's got a big day coming up. So I thought, right, well, I've got all of this scrap yarn. So I'll try and make some bunting, but I think it's actually surprising how much this needs. So I think I might have to make slightly smaller triangles, otherwise my bunting's not, for a start, isn't going to get done, and secondly, I'm going to have a lot of stripy triangles, so, because it actually takes a lot more than you think it will. Yeah, so what I'm doing is I'm sort of increasing every other row, and then sort of when you get to a point, you can stop and just do a straight up, and then I think I'll put like a tassel and a dangly on the bottom. And yeah, if you wanted to put motifs in the rectangle section here, then you could do, couldn't you? But I'm just going to leave it plain. I think what I might do is I might eventually just keep striping to use up using, I forget what the technique's called at the moment. But, you know, it's have two separate, with each different colour that you V up, have a different strand of yarn that you're working and just sort of, I don't know, hook them together. But yeah. Intarsia, is it? Intarsia, whatever it is. Anyway, yes. So that's what I'm working on. Trying to use up all the scrap. Make some bunting. Ha ha ha. Free bunting, of course. Of course. Meat doing meant here, chaps. Yes. But other than that, this week's food-wise has not been great. If you've not guessed already, this is going to be a raw video, so there's no editing. I'm just coming to you guys. Yeah, it's not been fabulous, and I sort of lost it the first half of the week, and then I've kind of caught it back at the back end of going back onto the meal plans and all that sort of stuff. And I think a huge part of it is the psychology of setting the table and sitting at the table 3 times a day and having it dressed with your teapot and all your bits and bobs. I've had one of those really nice Sunday breakfasts. Very nice. But yeah, so yeah, I think there's a lot to be said in the psychology of having set the table. And I was watching Lily Sageman, and on her weekend of doing war 1940s, she learnt from her granny to set the breakfast table the night before. And I can see definitely how that would help. Yes, and you know, there is something about just setting the table. Definitely is. Because I mean, I've been so used to just, I don't know, crash on the sofa and just get it down you and get out the door. But actually, once you get into the rhythm of laying the table, it really doesn't take that long or much longer to do than just throwing yourself somewhere and having a good nibble. So yeah, so there's that. The highlights, I'll put the highlights in the community thread, I think, for the pictures. What I've done, I've tried eggs Mornay this week, which was fun. In fact, I'll put that as a thing of, obviously I've had my breakfast, and yeah, without flipping through my phone, I can't remember. Have I written it down? Probably not, because I'm just silly. Have I? I haven't been writing down the food this week. I've just been grabbing and going. No. Anyway, so I have got my book, but not for the reasons for the food diary. I've got it for something different. So, do you chaps remember earlier on in the year I spoke about how I wasn't going to do New Year's resolutions? Instead of writing down what you want to achieve, I was going to write down what I had achieved on a daily basis, then choosing one for the week, and then choosing one for the month. Well, the way I look at it, we're now, you know, almost 4 months into the year, so it's as good a time as ever to have a look at the review and to think, okay, how's my year going? Am I happy with the progress? Am I happy with the direction? You know, I just thought now's as good a time as any, really, to sort of have a think through. So, for those of you who missed it or are, you know, haven't, you know, watched that bit of that video, you know, you don't have to. What I do is every day I write down what I have achieved, and it could be something as simple as cleaning the windows or reading the newspaper or throwing a birthday bash. You know, I mean, it could be something completely different, but it's out of the normal routine of mundane normalness, but you have achieved it, and it's not like you've set it in motion. No, it's the achievement at the end. What you wanted to see come about is what's happened. It could be something as simple as cleaning all the pots, having clean sides in the kitchen, and you know, it could be something as simple as that, or hoovering the entire house, or putting in that row of carrots, or digging over that patch of garden, or getting under the bonnet and giving the car a good, you know, bit of TLC. You know, it could be anything that's just not what you would normally have done with the debt in court, you know. So, for me, I do that. Now, sometimes you don't necessarily know what to pick. You know, you think this, that. It's also a good idea for people who don't really know what they actually want to do for their New Year's resolution. What do I want to do with this year? I don't know. How you're spending your days may help to give you your pointers into the right direction of what actually, oh, this is where my attention is going. Clearly, this is an importance in my life. So why? And that can help you sometimes like that. But also, if you don't really know, then that's great. But also what can help you when it comes to picking and choosing your week's achievements and your month's achievements from what you've done with your days is if you do aims. So I've got aims at the front of my book, and a wise friend once told me back in the day that you should have 3 hobbies in life. And those hobbies should fulfill wealth, health, and happiness. So without even really realising, that is what my aims have been. So my aims are to wear more handmade creations, to replenish my savings, which is, build other income streams, that sort of thing, and then to be healthy from the inside out. So I've got happiness in wearing a lot more of my own identity, I suppose, my own individualismness. Yeah, you know what I mean. You're picking up what I'm putting down, aren't you? Yeah. Replenish savings, well, that's wealth. And then healthy from the inside out is happiness, is health, So, yeah. So if you don't really know, just think about that, or look to someone who inspires you. Why do they inspire you? And maybe that could be, have a bit more of that in your life. You don't need to start this at the beginning of the year. Start it whenever you like. Start it today. If it's something that you think, oh, I can get my head around that and I think I can implement it. Because I'm, in a way, I like to keep my life as simple as possible. And just sort of take my time with things. We're not in a rush here. We're not competing with anyone else. We're just moseying through life, aren't we, chaps? We're just moseying through. So, yeah, that's what I like to do. I forgot what my train of thought was there. But anyway, so what I've done is I have written down... There we go. So... So, it's things like... each day I will have written sort of, on that one I have stitched my cardigan panels together. I've been to Ben's for tea. And what else did I do in the first week? Oh, I knit the button bands on that day. So it's like I've completed those sections of this cardigan, And so then in that first week, I had my New Year's party, which I've never had anyone round for a New Year's Day party. And I had Mummy and Val round, and it was absolutely gorgeous. Loved it. But that was something that was out of the ordinary that I've picked out of my 7 days. I could have picked any of the achievements, the things that I've done with my days. That's the one I chose to pick. And then, so that was week 1. And then week 2 was the rib of the cardigan. So I chose that one as my achievement. Along with, there's my potato basket. I've completed my rib hat. I've sorted out my budgeting, sowed my peas and my broad beans and yada, yada, yada. And then the 3rd week was the potato basket video. And then towards the end, I go through these weekly things that I've chosen as what I've done with the week. And I choose one for the month. And the first month was cardigan. So, stitch and pitch. Stitch and pitch was there. Oh, I must have gone stitch and pitch. But yes, cardigan. So, at the end of the year, you're going to have 12 of these monthly achievements that you can look back on over the year and go, this is what I've done with it. And then maybe out of that, you can say, well, what have you done with the year? These are the highlights, but you've got 12 to choose from, As opposed to, there's nothing worse really than someone asking, oh, what have you been up to? And you go, I don't know. You think, clock it. I think, I might have mentioned before, but I think children, as you get older, the days go by so quickly, the weeks, the months just pass you by. And I think as kids, it's because there's so much new in life that you're always clocking, oh, I've done this with the day, I've done this with the day, And then over time, that becomes normal to us. It's nothing. It's throwaway. It's the wonder of finding a new colour, the wonder of seeing a new painting or a new game to play or a new bit of woodland to explore. All those kind of things. It's like, well, we've done all that. We've explored it. We've seen the artwork. We've discovered the colour. So it's like, yeah, it just mellows out, doesn't it? And I think, no, we're not going to allow that on our watch, are we, chaps? No. So yeah, I'm sure there was plenty of other stuff to chat about, but I just thought I would pop in and just sort of have a look at that review. So the first one is cardigan, and then in February I sorted out the Apple tech so I could make all these videos. Finally sorted out everything, and then in the third month, so March, I started at the farm shop, and then the fourth month we're not quite there yet, but I've got an idea of what it might be. But yeah, so all in all, I like what's being achieved in my life. We're moving in the right direction. Pennies are sorted. It's more focusing on, I'm trying to focus on sort of give a bit of everything, but I think over the last month or so, especially with the house move and things, I've been focusing on the money. But now I think I'd like to focus a little bit more back on the creative aspect and the health aspect. So there you go. I can do that moving forward. But yes. So if any of that helps you, then fantastic. And please put your ideas and your thoughts on it below. And if it has helped you, I'd love to hear. But other than that, I'm going to head off to work now. So enjoy your Sunday, chaps. If you're coming into the shop, I'll see you. And if not, I will catch up with you again soon. Bye.